Hello everyone, we're Group 77. There are 5 members in our group. They are Liu Shengwei, Liu Xiaowei, Liang Chuyi, Liu Keyuan, and Ding Xiaohan. Now we are looking at the contents page of our presentation. This presentation mainly analyzes ExxonMobil, which is divided into 5 big parts: introduction, ethical dilemma, leadership style, and conclusion. My name is Liu Shengwei. Now I begin the first part of our presentation. ExxonMobil is one of the largest publicly traded multinational oil and gas companies in the world. It was formed in 1999 through a merger between Exxon and Mobil, both of which had long histories in the industry. The company is headquartered in Irving, Texas, and operates in over 200 countries worldwide. ExxonMobil has a diverse range of operations. Its upstream operations involve the exploration and production of crude oil and natural gas, while its downstream operations include refining and marketing of petroleum products such as gasoline, diesel, and lubricants. Despite its size and success, ExxonMobil has faced criticism over its environmental impact, particularly with regards to climate change. The company has faced pressure to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions and transition towards cleaner forms of energy. Although it will maintain that fossil fuels will remain the significant part of the energy mix for the foreseeable future. The CEO of ExxonMobil, Darren Woods, has been with the company for over 25 years, has held various leadership positions. He assumed the role of CEO in 2017, succeeding Rex Tillerson, who became the U.S. Secretary of State. Under Woods' leadership, ExxonMobil has continued to prioritize its core business of oil and gas explorations and production, while also investing in new technologies to enhance its operations and reduce its environmental impact. The company has pursued partnership and collaborations with other industry players to advance their efforts. Woods has emphasized the importance of responsible and sustainable energy development, balancing the need for economic growth with environmental stewardship. He has also advocated for policies that support innovation and investment in the energy sector. Overall, ExxonMobil has demonstrated a commitment to steering ExxonMobil through the complex challenges facing the industry and positioning the company for long-term success. However, like many companies operating in the fossil fuel industry, ExxonMobil has faced a range of ethical dilemmas over the years. These dilemmas often revolve around the company's impact on the environment, the loss of human life, its role in shaping public policy, and its relationship with the various stakeholders. Now we will explore the ethical dilemmas facing ExxonMobil, and Liang Chuyi will move on to the next part.
Thanks, my teammate Liu Shengwei. Hi everyone, my name is Liang Chuyi. In this part, we talk about the ethical dilemmas. So, what is the ethical dilemmas? This is a situation in which moral commands are clearly at the dots, and if one is obeyed, another one is violated. Whatever one does in this case may be contrary to one's own values and morals. An ethical conflict, for example, is a context that necessitates the application of multiple items at the same time. Profit maximization is the goal and guiding principle for business, but societies expect companies to take on more social responsibilities. The next part we talk about ethical mobiles. Ethical mobile has been confronted with ethical controversies as a result of decisions that impacted the business environment and reputations of ethical mobile leaders. One of the ethical mobile ethical controversies stands for frequent explosions at refineries, which endanger workers while polluting the environment. For example, on March 16, 2019, a fire broke out at the ExxonMobil's Baton Olefins plant, where the company noted all along that perchlorate polymer was a highly dangerous substance, but failed to implement safety measures to prevent tragedy, which resulted in a massive explosion that injured 37 people and cost the company $28 million. ExxonMobil canceled these risks and never won any plant worker, including those represented by the companies who filed lawsuits against the company for injuries caused by the explosion. It is necessary for the company to have a delicate safety oversight team in this case. Okay, let's focus on the impact of ethical dilemmas that is the company's reaction to establishing delicate safety oversight teams. One of the positive impacts, performing a short inspections once a week and large inspections once a month, effectively reducing the likelihood of explosion while reducing pollution of the environment after the explosions, and to some extent ensuring the safety of employees' lives. The another one is negative impact. First, ExxonMobil needs to hire high-paid professionals as a part of an overhead teams. The second, for safety inspection necessitate a day or more of downtimes, which can slow down productions or reducing profits. Let's move on the last part, solution to ethical dilemmas. For the ExxonMobil, we can not only protect the safety of the employees and reduce the large sum of the compensations brought about the subsequent employees' lawsuits for forming a safety oversight team, but we can also help the companies assume social responsibility and reducing pollution of the environment for assistance. That is my part, ethical dilemma. So let's welcome my partner Liu Xiaowei to introduce the next part.
Thanks to my friend Chuyi, and hello everyone, my name is Xiaowei Liu. I'm here today to share with you the section of leadership and its theoretical underpinnings. To begin, let's turn our attention to leadership. Leadership is a process of social influence that maximizes the efforts of others to achieve a goal. It follows that there are several important components of leadership. Firstly, it is a process. Secondly, it includes influence. And then it emerges in a team or an organization. And last, it also includes the achievement of goals. The next thing I want to talk about is the situational leadership theory. Situational leadership theory is a flexible and adaptable leadership style that determines whether a leader is more directive or supportive based on the individual needs of followers. This leadership theory consists of two leadership dimensions. One is the directive behavior, also known as task behavior, and the other is supportive behavior, also known as relationship behavior. If you look at this figure 1, you can see that the model divides this theory into 4 different leadership styles, which are coaching, directing, supporting, and delegating. Darren Woods, the ExxonMobil leader we are discussing today, falls into the first type of coaching leadership. And now let's move on to the comparison between different leadership theories. First, I want to continue with the situational leadership. The strength of this theory is that the leader has the freedom to decide on an adaptive leadership style, and it can create a more comfortable working environment for all group members. However, this theory has its own limitations. This theory can lead to confusion within the organization due to a lack of consistency. On the other hand, situational leadership theory is mainly based on short-term goals and is not applicable to long-term goals. The second one I'd like to mention is trait leadership theory. It's a theory that suggests there are identifiable qualities or traits that are unique to leaders, such as self-confidence, bravery, and so on. This theory has made significant advance in the study of human personality and traits, and provides guidance on what types of traits that leader can further improve. But the trait theory of leadership fails to cover all situations, and there is no specific metric to measure these traits, The final theory is behavior leadership theory. This theory suggests that people can choose themselves to be leaders based on their own behavior. This strength of this theory includes fostering a flexibility to adapt to significant situations and supporting the ideas that anyone can be a leader. By the same token, there are limitations to this theory. It relies on the significant actions of a particular leader and may therefore result in personal bias on the part of the leader influencing the decision. And furthermore, just because people learn about the practice and behavior, it doesn't mean that they can implement the theory correctly. And okay, the above is the section of leadership and its theoretical underpinnings, and that covers all I want to say today. Thank you for listening, and now I'd like to hand over to my teammate Keyuan Liu, who will be discussing you the next part.
Hello, my name is Liu Keyuan. Next, I will introduce the definition of leadership style and analyze the influence of leadership style on companies based on some cases. A leadership style is a leader's method of providing direction, implementing plans, and motivating people. Various authors have proposed identifying many different leadership styles as exhibited by leaders in the political, business, or other fields. We can see from the form that some of the leadership styles, their strengths and weaknesses are defined as indicated below. The second point is the analysis of Wu's leadership style. Over the recent past and since Wu's assuming leadership of ExxonMobil, a special form of leadership called democratic leadership has been assumed. Every employees and other organizational members are encouraged to come up with their initiatives. Their opinions are considered significant in making decisions. Woods believes that the improved collaborations among the employees may have helped to enhance the development of the company. Even though the company believes the democratic leadership, which emphasizes on the need to collaborate, may not be the best anyway. This is because most of the financial and other development goals of ExxonMobil have not yet been attained fully under this leadership. Next, I would like to talk about the influence of two events on Wu's leadership style. The effectiveness of democratic leadership may be further reflected through the occursion and handling of recent explosion of the ethylene production plant. This leadership style may have been associated with the poor handling of the ethylene production in the processing plants. The employees were treated as just object and not part of the solution to the development of ExxonMobil. This explains why the explosion and the major adverse effects on the employees, especially those who were directly involved in the chemical production processes. Another incident shows that the democratic leadership has not worked in the favor of ExxonMobil. Under this leadership, the energy production company has missed on meeting some important targets such as growth in profit and shareholders' return. There has been negative growth in this element. For example, since the introduction of democratic leadership by Woos in 2017, the company has continued to register dismal performance in terms of return on capital employed, short form ROCE. In 2016, 17, 18, and 19, the recorded ROCEs were 20%, 17.6%, 15.1%, and 14.1% respectively. It is clear that ExxonMobil continued poor performance may be due to the type of leadership that current CEO Woods has received. At this point, transformational leadership is considered the appropriate alternative. Unlike democratic leadership, transformational leadership involves coming up with mechanisms to motivate employees. In this way, they feel valued, which increase their productivity. At present, action leadership is unable to motivate employees, which leads to lower performance. Through this thing with ethylene explosion, this helped to highlight why such leaders should be part of the full future solution, as they are most familiar with the handling of chemical production processes. Woods should embrace more dynamic transformational leadership to avoid the significant adverse effects of such unfortunate events in the future. That's all the analysis of Wu's leadership styles. Let's move on to the final part, conclusion by Ding Xiaohan.
Hello everyone, my name is Xianghan Ding. I'm very happy to have the chance to share my ideas. My job is to conclusion and recommendation about the group presentation. Alright, let's begin by looking at the conclusion. This presentation analyzed the ExxonMobil's planned explosion and leadership style of Darren Woods through an ethic dilemma. In this incident, ExxonMobil's leader faced an ethic dilemma, and they may need to choose between safety measures and cost control, but the two goals that are not fully compatible. Leaders need to consider several factors such as company reputation, public trust, transparency, environment protection, and employee safety. The incident also reviews several issues from a leadership style perspective. Some observers have criticized the company's leader for focusing too much on short-term gains at the expense of the safety and welfare of employees. In addition, some have criticized the company's inadequate communicate with the public. Overall, the explosion at ExxonMobil's patent plant is a classic case of an ethic dilemma. This incident reveals the need for companies to make trade-offs between cost control and safety management, while also considering the interest of the public and employees. From a leadership perspective, this incident also demonstrates the need for companies to pay more attention to the safety and welfare of their employees and the public, and to enhance transparency and communication. Okay, turn our attention now to recommendation. Following the explosion at ExxonMobil's Baytown plant in 2019, which had a significant impact on the environment and people, the following recommendations were made to leaders and management to improve management standards. There are 5 recommendations. The first one is implement a safety culture. Leaders and managers need to make safety a priority, a key part of company's decision and action, and part of the company culture. Employees must be systematically trained in safety before they start work, ensuring that each employee is proficient and that safety protocols are regularly reviewed and updated. The second is conduct a thorough investigation. Leaders and managers need to thoroughly investigate the root cause of explosions and identify gaps in safety procedures and training to prevent similar incidents from happening again. The third is establish clear communication channel. To prevent similar incidents from happening again, leaders and managers need to establish clear communication channel with employees to understand the underlying issue at the ground level, communicate with employees and motivate them to report potential hazard and manage the risk in a timely manner. Next is hold leaders and managers accountable. Leaders and managers need to take responsibility for incidents, the safety of employees and the environment, correcting practice, investing in safety equipment and staff training to prevent recurrence of hazards. And the last recommendation is regular review and update procedures. Hold leaders and managers accountable for regular and effective review and update of safety procedures to check that safety system meets the requirement of production and prevent recurrence of accidents. Well, that concludes my presentation today. The next slide is the call we use for the group presentation. Thank you for the listening.